I'm H.C. Smitty. I'm going to be here with my man Rooster. He's going to be tattooing my back, and we're going to try to talk about a couple things as we're doing this. Going to explain, what it's like being in prison and what it's like getting out and adjusting to life on the streets, and some of the things that we're trying to do as former felons to put together some successful stories, of our stuff, with our Degenerate streetwear, me writing my book, him writing his and his tattooing. What are the other things we're getting into, but we want to put this together as social commentary as we're doing this, and we'll be having different guests, interviewing them on there, but this is the first episode, and so we're going to kind of start out doing something that we're familiar with, man. This guy started tattooing while we were in the joint, he's very good at what he does, so now, he's got some real stuff, instead of using, a toothbrush handle with a guitar string attached to it, he's got some machines he can use with some good ink, and he's going to tattoo my back, and so we'll get to that, and stay tuned. H.C. Smitty, man, we are back here, Degenerate Nation. This here behind me, I'm going to let him introduce himself.
I'm Rooster. My name's Dave Brent. Friends and homies call me Rooster.
Me and Rooster did a lot of time together, a couple of different prisons, over 20 years, and so he's done some of my tattoos before, so, like I said, we're going to do them here on the street with some professional gear, and I'm going to talk to him a little bit about, doing time and while he's working on my back piece here, and so anyway, like I said, I met this guy in, would it be 2001, 2002, somewhere around there at
real close to 2002. I think it was near Christmas 2001 when I came into Monadnock.
Yeah, that would be about right. Yeah, and so we were at the State Correctional Institution of Monadnock here in Pennsylvania, way up in the fucking mountains, and anyway, we became friends, and and then here it is, 2025, still friends, and we've had a long journey. A lot of shit's happened along the way. We were young men then, and we're not so young anymore. And he's just returning to the streets. He's back out again, and how old were you when you first got locked up?
First time I was locked up ever was in county jail. I was 18 years old. Took a customer's car. I worked at a garage. It's called Elder's Automotive Repair. I used to take customers' cars for joyrides all the time. You see, I've never had a driver's license. Never. Got taken from me before it was given to me for underage consumption. So I've never had a driver's license. So I've done joyriding as often as possible. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going in. And old fast, honky. So I take a customer's car out joyriding, and I stopped along the side of the road to take a leak. I had a 12-pack of beer, and police in Butler County attempted to pull me over. I wasn't going to pull over, so I took them on a high-speed chase. I'd heard of these things, I always wanted to be in one. I also always wanted to be a bank robber. Those times came too. So, careful of what your aspirations are, kids. I could have been a veterinarian or a fighter pilot. Instead, Bonnaroo and tattooed Pepperwood. Anyways, long story short, which I have no short stories in my repertoire.
So how many years you've done so far altogether since back then when you sold that car?
Total combined, 26. Plus.
26 years, and you're how old?
I'm 51 years old now.
It's a good chunk of your life.
Vast majority.
Yeah.
Now, let's not use the word vast, but you can use the word majority. They're numbers oriented.
So what's the longest stretch you've ever been free as you've been home?
This right here now, is the longest I've ever been out.
It's less than a year.
Yeah. Longest before that was 4 months. It's when my son was conceived.
Okay. So wow, man, that's a good chunk. I myself done quite a bit of time myself, but 26 years, being 51, that's the majority of it. Yeah. All the good parts of it, anyway. Yeah.
So 21st birthday.
Yeah.
All the milestones, all the milestones that were passed.
Okay.
Every Christmas. Matter of fact, my first Christmas out as a free man was last year.
Okay.
I spent that in another state with my childhood sweetheart. That didn't work out. I ended up in jail there too. You see, no matter where you go, there you are.
Find yourself there. Yeah.
The decisions you make.
So what do you think is the biggest struggle you faced since you've been back? Since you've been out?
Biggest struggle that I've faced since I've been back. That's a tough question, man. But choices. Making choices. I've got this overwhelming feeling of paranoia. So it's not overwhelming, but it's always there. Ever present is the better way to put it. Ever present feeling of paranoia. See, because in prison you're accounted for. I finally put my finger on why, Mike. It's in prison we're accounted for every minute of every hour of every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're accounted for. They being the man, know where we are at all times. They have to. It's their job.
Right.
They know where we're at all times, and we're accounted for. We literally have a pass to be here or there. You have a pass. Let's see your pass. It's a written pass.
Yeah.
Now, that's the biggest challenge is
take over management of your own life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we don't know how to manage our own life because it's been managed for us for so long by someone else.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So is there any myths that, you know what I mean, like you'd like to dispel about, you know, being a felon and, you know, entering in the workforce and...
Well, I can tell you this. I've never, ever been unemployed. I believe that if you're unemployed in America, it's because you want to be. I'm a many times over convicted felon. I've been convicted of violent crimes and simple theft crimes.
Right.
I've done everything from petty theft to grand theft. And I've always had a job, no matter what. I get a job the same day I get out if I want one.
Yeah. I mean, it might not be the job you want, you know, your dream job, but like there is work available. You want to do stuff, you know what I mean, that you think is beneath you.
Right.
But however, you know, I mean, that's can be used as a stepping stone to get something that you really do like and do something you do want.
Right. That's correct.
You know, I know that's not everybody's dream job to, you know, put on a uniform and work at McDonald's. You know what I mean? But you know,
yeah,
it beats a blank. It beats working in the fucking chow hall. You know what I mean? Fucking slinging fucking, you know, cabbage casserole to the population.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's done. I've done mostly industrial labor and construction, which are typical jobs for a felon, for real.
Yeah, those are the easiest jobs for us to get into. It's like, you know, some shit you got to do some manual labor at. You know what I mean? It's a little bit tougher than, you know, for most folks, and you'll fit in there. You know what I mean? I found it, you know what I mean, to be true. I went to work in the construction field, and man, I moved up very fast. You know what I mean? All you have to do is show up every day. You know what I mean? And you know. Heck, man, you know what I mean? Like, I'd been working out in the weight pit, you know what I mean? So I was in shape, and, man, you know, I had a great time doing it, you know what I mean? And, you know, I got along with the guys I work with, you know what I mean? It was like a rough and tumble type of environment, you know, I fit right in.
Another thing is, a myth that I'd like to spell is, you know, institutionalized doesn't mean you cannot function outside of prison. I function just fine. I've got a lot of inward turmoil, man. Got a lot of inward turmoil. We were just talking about yesterday is the social anxiety. I was so surprised to hear that you suffer from that, and you were even more surprised to hear that I'm suffering from it. Because
he's a chatterbox. He don't shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? He's just get people go.
Talk to anybody. Man.
Yeah, I struggle with it. You know what I mean? But you know, it's not outwardly apparent that I do, but you know, I do. And
I've got a lot of inward turmoil.
Yeah, I think I have convict stamped on my forehead. You know, a lot of times. But like my buddy had told me one time, he said, "Man, nobody knows until you tell them." You know what I mean? No one knows that you were in prison.
So Lucas used to tell me.
I mean, guys who've been there might be able to pick up on it, but the general public doesn't know. You know what I mean? Like, listen, America is full of tattooed people now. You know what I mean? Soccer moms got, you know, full sleeves. You know what I mean? Face tats. So I mean, it ain't just, you know, convicts who are, you know, got ink. You know, it's a trendy thing now. You know, if you want to be different, don't get any. Yeah. I remember Smitty always said to me before, I wanted to get tattoos so that I didn't look like everybody else. And now I look like everybody else. Yeah. It's because tattoos are so accepted now. It's mainstream. Yeah, back one time it was only bikers, convicts, sailors. You know what I mean? Like, those are the only people who had tattoos. You know what I mean? Now, you know, all the sports stars have them, you know, and entertainers. Yeah. It's a hip thing to do.
Speaking of bikers, convicts, felons, and all of that, there was a time when prison was for nothing but bad motherfuckers, bikers, convicts, the stereotypical bad motherfucker.
War on drugs changed that.
Sure did. Enter the early 90s,
Crack epidemic.
late 80s, Hillary Clinton and her liberal cohorts, and the prison building boom. And they need to justify building all these prisons by filling them up, and there's just only so many bad motherfuckers. And mankind is inherently good.
Well, the liberals might have built them, but it was also the conservatives who wanted to keep us in there once they had us. You know what I mean? Tom Ridge was in office when I was here in Pennsylvania, and no one made parole.
Yep.
If you had a 1 to 2, forget it. You were doing the whole thing. You might make parole, if you had a 5 to 10. After you did 9 years, you'd probably get out of parole in your last year. You know what I mean? Just so they could, jack you up and bring you back after 6 months. Right. They'd get you to max out. But neither side has your best interests at heart. You can believe that. So if you can avoid going there, I would. Because for real, that's one of the reasons I even do this channel is because to educate the general public on, what it's really like. You know what I mean? Like people that are in there, he said at one time it was all bad motherfuckers in there. That was a fact. But now that's not the case. Yeah. It's your sons, it's your daughters are in there, it's your neighbors, your nephews. You know what I mean? Most of these people were just people with drug problems. You know what I mean? Who do not belong in the state penitentiary. And being there doesn't help them. You know what I mean? They come out a little more educated in crime, educated on different drugs. You know what I mean? Making connections. It's It's a college on crime. It's what it is. I mean, it's not there to help people. They call it correctional institute, but what's it correcting? Nothing.
There was a time I didn't know how to steal a car. I learned how to steal a car sitting in a prison cell. The guy drew me a diagram. I can steal any 1990s GM model vehicle now. No key. I barely even need a screwdriver.
Yeah. I went into prison, I didn't have a heroin habit when I went into prison, but I sure came out with one.
Yeah.
My buddy said one time, he ran into a judge that gave him 5 to 15 years because he thinks he needed sufficient drug treatment. He ran into him at Walmart at 3 in the morning, and he said, "Hey, you're the judge that gave me the 5 to 15 because I needed sufficient drug treatment." He said, "Yeah, well, did you get it?" He said, "You know what I fucking learned?" He says, "I learned how to shoot heroin with the chicken bone, and I don't fucking shoot heroin." So, there you go.
It's a fact. Yeah. And I tell you, like I said, I started out with petty joyride car theft. It wasn't even a theft. It's unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. And the owners and my employer were forgiving. And I was 6 of the roughest months I ever did, as a matter of fact, in the county jail. All county jails suck.
Yeah, that's a fact.
As far as privileges and allowances.
Yeah, you're not even sentenced. You know what I mean? You thought in this country you were innocent until proven guilty. Well, you get treated like, you're being punished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not treated as you're innocent until proven guilty. You know what I mean? So... And bail, forget about it. Bail's for rich folks. You know what I mean? We can't, regular people, can't afford bail. And a lawyer, shit. You know what I mean? $10,000 at minimum, just to do your prelim. Who has that kind of money? You know what I mean? And
that's college fund money.
Yeah. And you got a public defender who sees you 5 minutes, you know what I mean, before you're in front of the judge and has no idea who you even are. He's not read your file until he just got handed it. You know what I mean? And he said, "Well, I think it's your best interest to go take this plea that they're offering." Well, yeah, because you don't have no idea what the fuck you're doing and what my case is about. So, forget about it. All right, we're going to take a break here, and thanks for joining us. We'll be back. H.C. Smitty, man, we are back, and kind of go through a couple things here. Check me out on my blog, which you can find at HC Smitty at blogspot.com. It's on Blogger. It's a service of Google. And check out my buddy, Cuzzo Costo. He's got a show From Innocent Child to Convicted Killer. It's a great series he's put together, so guys, check that out. And I'm going to do a public service announcement here. If anybody is struggling with, they're just coming out of prison, and or they're coming out, they're getting clean, they want some place to go. There's a safe place called Infinite Possibilities. right by my friend Kurt Houston. So you can find them on the internet. You know, it's a 3/4 house, you know what I mean? It's a great jumping off spot for you, you know what I mean, to, you know, getting your life started. So, you know, check out different possibilities if, you know, if you're a re-entrant or, you know, coming out of rehab or whatever it is, you know, you're homeless and you're looking to start over and just make a fresh start. It's a great place to make it. And so, all right, now we're back with Rooster here, and he's, you know, doing my back piece, and we're doing some stuff on here that, you know, I mean, is very near and dear to me is, you know, music stuff. And so he's doing some iconic imagery here, like the Metallica Damage Incorporated piece of artwork. He's putting that on there. The Crochet Conformity skull, you know, the Motorhead War Pig, the Exploited skull, you know what I mean, all this stuff, the Misfits, all the stuff that I grew up with, this punk rock, hardcore, thrash stuff. You know what I mean, I was very, very passionate about it. You know, when I was younger, I played in Sathanos and Asheron. Loved it, you know, loved doing this music thing, and so, you know, I mean, we're gonna pay tribute to all these guys here on my back, and so you're gonna be hearing some music on this channel, and you know, check out the playlist I have on here. You know what I mean? It's a little bit eclectic. It's, you know, jumps all over the place. You know, listen to everything. I'll listen to, you know, the Misfits, Pantera, and Bob Marley, Hank Williams Jr. on the same day. You know, and you know, this is Degenerate Nation. We're back here with Rooster. He can tell you some more about, you know what I mean, transferring some of the skills that he learned inside, you know, out here. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, well, tattooing. It's a good side hustle. It's actually a good living to make. I know a guy that got out, opened his own shop. We both know a couple of guys that got out, opened their own shop. Used to be tattoos were for bikers, pirates, thugs, and gangsters. Now we got soccer moms and grandmas getting tattoos.
Yeah, my mom got one. She was 62, first tattoo.
How about that?
And, you know, she took it like a champ. You know what I mean? I got these dudes like straight gangsters, you know what I mean? Gun-toting, fucking, you know what I mean? In their life type of shit, you know what I mean? Crying. And mom didn't make a peep. Who's the real gangster? You, Mom.
But, you know, I came to prison, and I've got a strict policy of being fully self-supporting. I like to not solicit funds from outside sources. I made my bed, I gotta lay in it type thing. So, there's 3 top hustles in any U.S. prison, state prison or otherwise. Tattooing, gambling, and drug sales.
I was involved in all those.
I got no business selling drugs. It's not a case of a monkey not selling bananas. It's a case of I don't know the rules to that game. I'll front, talk too much, trust the wrong people, get us all caught, and fuck the money up. So I can't sell drugs. Gambling, I don't know anything about that. I'm not against it. I don't gamble.
I like it.
So I settled on tattooing, taught myself how to draw, and I don't really know how to draw.
You're saying there?
I just do my rendition of other people's work, basically. I have a few things in my catalog now, but it's a lucrative hustle in any state prison.
Yeah.
So, I now have my very first legitimate titled vehicle. It's a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. I need a few $100s to get this thing running, so what am I going to do? I'm going to tattoo. It's my side hustle. I earn low wages. Like I said earlier, I work in the industrial sector of the Erie region. So I earn very low wages. I can't afford Harley Davidsons or parts for it. So I get my side hustle on. Tattoo the shit out of everybody I can. Don't gouge them, because I think that prices at commercial shops are absurd. And I'll get the money from my motorcycle.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like you said, you know, if you're interested in something, you know, prison's a great place to, you know what I mean, explore that, because you got nothing but time on your hands, you know what I mean? And, you know, I know here in Pennsylvania, you know, the library, you know, is a great resource, man. You know what I mean? If they don't have the book, you can order a book through interlibrary loan program. You know, and all the libraries in America are connected to it, and you know, you can order a book that you are interested in. You know, something you're interested in. You know, it takes time to learn it. You know, and So it's a great opportunity, you know what I mean, to do those types of things you wouldn't normally have the time for. So yeah, it's hard out here to find time for stuff. You know what I mean? You know, you're working, and then you come home, and you got to spend some time with your girl, spend some time with your kids, or whatever, and then your day's done.
I haven't read a book since I've been out.
Yeah, me neither. I used to love to read. I've read thousands of books while I was incarcerated, and I have not picked up not a one since out here. Besides, you know, I mean, one of the 12-step books I had picked up, but that was it. You know, I haven't read a novel or, you know, some literary fucking piece of literature in quite a while. But I miss that part. That's about the only thing I miss from prison.
Yeah, it's relaxing. I used to call it book dope. When I wanted to get to sleep,
To
I
escape.
get that from Stephen King. A lot of stuff from Stephen King. A lot of stuff. Yeah, there's guys that come to prison and they don't utilize their time wisely. They just get on a sports team, lift weights, get big, and that's it. And there's guys that come and they get an education, or they educate themselves. They get in the library, they read, they learn. I suggest that you do the latter and not the former. Use your time wisely.
It'll use you.
Oh, it will. Eat you alive, man. You just lay there static. That was that dude's name I was trying to think of.
Oh yeah,
Static.
yeah. What if he's still alive?
Yeah, exactly. He was reckless.
Yeah.
Reckless. Easily killed. So,
Yeah, you know, I mean, lots of guys I that went in with, you know, I mean, they're dead now. I mean, they come out and thinking they could do the same dope that they did when they went in, and you know, to find out, you know what I mean, they can't, man, and you know, they were by themselves or whatever, and no one got Narcan to them, and they ended up dying. So if you're gonna get high, man, don't do it by yourself. Do it with somebody else. You know what I mean? They can administer Narcan. It's free now, man. Shit is everywhere. You know what I mean? There's no reason. You know what I mean? People should be dying now. You know, we can save them. So a lot of people, you know, they are against, you know what I mean, the Narcan, just to let them die. You know what I mean? But like, you know, they probably haven't hit close to home yet. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, those families have somebody, you know, close to them that suffers with addiction. I mean, it is the biggest issue in America, probably, I imagine. You know, but that I guess, you know, then you know, the transgender issues, maybe they come a little before that, but you know.
funny story. I went to prison, and my little 8-year-old niece, little cutie pie, Alexis, she had a crush on her favorite aunt's boyfriend. That was me. And the inside joke in the Gibson clan, that's her family name, was that Lexi's going to marry Dave when she grows up. So, I get out of prison, and little Lexi's now 18 years old, and social media is all in the palm of your hand. When I went in, we didn't have smartphones. I come out, we have smartphones. So, I keep getting these friend requests, and I learned in short order not to accept friends from strangers, or those boobs are fake, and that is a catfish. So I keep getting these friend requests on both Snapchat and Facebook from someone named Arlo Justice. So I check it out to see if it's a fake account.
Sounds like a superhero.
Yeah, and it's a skate dude. Young skate dude, 18 years old, named Arlo Justice. Punk rock haircut, piercings everywhere. Cool looking dude, but I don't even know him, man. So just when I'm about to ask my son if he knows someone named Arlo Justice, he keeps friend requesting me on Snapchat and Facebook, I get a call from Lexi's aunt, my former lover, who we had a child with. She says, Dave, Lexi wants to know why you won't accept her friend requests. I said, because she hasn't friend requested me. I didn't get any requests from someone named Alexis Gibson. She said, yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about. I said, what do you mean? She says, Lexi doesn't go by Lexi anymore. I said, what? Why? She said, she goes by Arlo Justice and identifies as a boy. I said, wait, what? She repeated herself.
Wears a skateboard by day, fights crime at night.
Yeah. I said, well, my first question was very practical. Why didn't she go with the name Alex if she was going to identify as a boy? It's a unisex name, and her original name is Lexi. My second question was, wait, what? I couldn't possibly get my head wrapped around my cute little niece identifying as a boy, right? But fact of the matter is this: as soon as we linked up, Arlo and I, he insisted that I use the pronoun he and him and all that. I still couldn't get my head wrapped around it, but what I can get my head wrapped around is that's my family, by extension of my former lover, Tina. Rest her soul. She's dead and gone now. And I love her. I love him. And regardless of how she or he wants to live his or her lifestyle, I still love her. And it was instant chemistry too, by the way. We hang out and we became best friends. So, I guess the moral of that story is bigotry's dead.
Yeah, that's something that's definitely changing. You know, I mean, it's a whole lot different now than it was when I was a kid anyway, you know. And, you know, I don't have no problem with trans people, you know what I mean? I got a problem, though, and, you know, they were going to pay for transgenders to have sex reassignment surgeries in prison. You know what I mean? When I couldn't even get a fucking aspirin when I was in prison. You know what I mean? Fucking, you've got fucking cancer, you're going to die. You know what I mean? You weren't getting any treatment. So for them to pay for sex reassignment surgery when people are fucking dying for fucking shit they shouldn't never even die for in prison, you know, prison healthcare is fucked up. And they're going to do this stuff? Yeah, get out of here. I'm not with any of that. But, you know what I mean? Hey, man, if someone wants to fucking cut their wiener off and call themselves Trisha or whatever, I don't fucking care or whatever, you know what I mean? But however, you know what I mean? It's none of my business. And I just shouldn't have to be a part of it. You know what I mean? So I don't want to have to pay taxes to help them. You know what I mean? Do this type of thing. If you want to do it, go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, you know, fuck what I want to say. I started identifying as Asian. You know what I mean? I guess that's okay now. You know what I mean? Be anything you want to be. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's the case. I identify as a rich capital investor.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the bank and get a loan now.
Don't make it so.
Identifying as such.
Yeah, I can call myself as Asian as I want to, but at the end of the day, you look at me, you know what the fuck I am. Well, listen, right here, we're going to take a break, and hopefully we'll have some music on here for you that I can figure this thing out, and I can start playing some videos in the meantime. But remember, like I said, you know, check out Cuzzo Costo's From Innocent Child to Convicted Killer series on YouTube, and if you need help, you know, with place to stay, infinite possibilities. Okay, we're going out from here, taking a break.
Almost done here.
A lot of art on here. You know, our clothing line is going to be dropping soon, so we hope you guys check that out. Degenerate Streetwear. We know it's going to be some, you know, some iconic punk rock imagery, some, you know, tattoo inspired things, custom motorcycle stuff, you know, and we're going to try to get different people from those industries to collaborate with us, you know, on some of the designs that we do. So there's going to be some really, really cool stuff coming your way from them. So, you know, keep an eye out for, you know, our first limited edition set to drop here very shortly. And we're going to be putting out an episode of Degenerate Nation once a week. And so, you know, stay tuned and like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it, you know what I mean? And, you know, leave some feedback, you know, and even if you don't like it, you know, tell your friends, hey, check out these two jerk-offs, you know, we're on, you know, YouTube and, you know, making fools of themselves. Or if you liked it, you know, tell some people about it so, you know, we can generate, you know, some buzz with this thing. And so I also want to plug again Cuzzo Costo's Innocent Child to Convicted Killer. You guys need to watch this. It's a great series. He's been putting it out, you know, episode every week, talking about, you know, his life story, man, putting it out there, you know, and it's not an easy thing to do, opening up yourself to the world, you know, to basically an audience of everyone. And he's doing a great job with it, and I think you guys will really, really be surprised how things come together with him. And so, and also, you guys are struggling. You need a place to stay. If you're just coming out of prison, just coming out of rehab, infinite possibilities. It's a great place. It's a safe place. to get your life together, to get started, to beginning your life. And, it's a great place. Kurt Houston runs it, and so yeah, Infinite Possibilities. Check them out. And also, we want to thank everybody who helped us along the way. And this is Degenerate Nation, man. And so we are looking forward to coming in next week, and hopefully we'll be playing some music videos along with this stuff. You know what I mean? And we're just getting started. This is all brand new. So the best is yet to come. So thanks again. See you next week. Degenerate Nation out.